We're here with Jay and Carolyn Moore, proprietors of Moby Dickens Bookshop in Taos. Recently you announced that the bookstore is going to be closing.
Yes.
And I know that a lot of people in Taos are sad to see it go. And we just wanted to get a little bit of a sense from you, what happened?
It's a multitude of things. Certainly, I mean, everyone knows the 800-pound gorilla in this situation is Amazon. Amazon has completely altered the buying process and the psychological process for people coming into, especially bookshops, but almost any small business. We would have people that would put a book on the shelf or to buy it, and they would flash up their phone and ask us if we could match Amazon's price. We would have people come in and just take pictures of books so that they can go order online.
And then walk outside and place the order.
So you had that situation, which was certainly one of the larger issues with it. You still can't deny the economics, the financial issues that are still going on within the country and also in this town. We found that people would buy, especially during tourist seasons, 4 or 5 books at a time, and we found that's really dropped where maybe it's just 1 and 2. So the buying tendencies of the customers have greatly dropped as well. So all of those factors led up to this greater issue of decreasing costs, decreasing sales, decreasing profits, and the tight margins that you run on books. They're really slim margins whenever you take into account running a full-on brick-and-mortar store.
Moby Dickens has been around for quite a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, 30 years.
30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And when did you acquire it?
We bought it in 2012, August of 2012.
Can you give me a sense of your anticipation at that point? What did you expect when you first?
Well, we had come to Taos as tourists, and we knew how magnificent this place was in terms of its history, its culture, its people. And so when we were looking for a business or a job prior to this, we didn't look for Taos. I mean, it literally found us, and it brought us here. So we felt, one, that the mountain and other effects did bring us here beyond ourselves. And so our expectations at the time were just pure excitement. We understood the respect that people had for what Art and Susan created and the iconic status that the bookshop had. We understood that even at that time it was under tremendous pressure to stay open itself. But we knew the challenges, we knew the risks that were with running a bookshop. So it wasn't like we were, ignorant to what we were taking on. But we really felt that being in Taos and being in a town that people certainly profess to a dislike of large corporations and chains, we certainly thought that the opportunities were greater than not. And, it's like any town. The effects of Amazons and Walmarts and the chains, it's easy to say you don't want to support them, but at the same time, we all go there and shop. So those were things, too, that really hurt us and hurts small businesses all around the town in general, is that it is easy to say that people are supporting them, and it's harder, though, for them to come out and actually buy and support when it's so easy and cheaper in many other places.
But we have to say, we knew we were taking a risk, and we knew that if we didn't, we would regret it forever, and I still don't. Still don't regret it. We wanted our children to grow up in a place as beautiful as Taos, with people as amazing as they are here, with a culture and a different opportunity, a different lifestyle, and to experience new things as a family and see where that could take us. And, this isn't the end of our adventure here in Taos. It's just the end of the Moby Dickens era, and now how else can we fit into the community and make a life here?
Was there a particular point when you began to realize that this was a challenge? That
Yeah.
Really significantly over the past year.
Well, no, the item that I can look back and see as the tipping point of where the real problems came in and we never recovered from was what I call Metergate. And it's, it's when the town chose to raise the fees on the meters and decrease the time that someone could stay. Literally overnight, the downtown historic area became a ghost town. People refused to come into the downtown area. And it was a small increase, but it was a big psychological increase. And so what occurred for us personally is that our customer base would no longer come into the shop and buy multiple books. They would call in. We would order maybe one book for them. They would come in, pull up outside when we had it. They would run into the shop hoping that they didn't get a ticket. They would pay for their $20 book and run out and find a $20 ticket. And while they knew that it wasn't our fault, it still gave them a bad taste in their mouth and created a negative situation. The bigger issue, though, that what that ended up creating for us is we certainly lost those customers during that period. But what it did is it opened up many of our customers whom before were not supporters nor buyers of Amazon products. It opened them up to try Amazon because it was easier for them to do it than to come here and get a ticket. And so we lost, once we got the town to rescind that increase, we had already lost many of our customers to, they drank the Amazon Kool-Aid. And at that point, we really never recovered that large base that we had prior to that situation.
Tell me about your viewpoint on the business climate in Taos.
I would say it's extremely challenged. And some people can look at us being here for now only 3 years and say, well, they don't really know. And I respect their opinion on that. It's easy to say that. And there's so many people that live here, so long. So what I did is I started seeking out other merchants that have been here for 10, 20, or 30 years and asking them their opinions on the economic climate of Taos. And everyone here knows that it ebbs and flows. And I would ask, what's your opinion of the current ebb and flow? And do you see a light at the end of the tunnel? And over and over and over, even from long-term Taoseños, I kept getting the same answer of, we're really concerned and we don't know what's going on and where it's going to go to or when it's going to end. So those items too certainly played into our process of how long do we keep working on trying to keep this open, seeking investments, and were these investments actual solutions to continuing the business, or were they just kicking the can down the road and we're still going to end up in the same problem 3-4 months from now?
I think the hardest decision is how much we love this town and how much we love this community. All of the customers were like family to us, and the support and the love was tremendous. And we kept wanting to keep Moby Dickens running for Taos. And we finally had to make a decision for our family that we needed to be able to provide for our family, and we would have to make the sacrifice so that we could. And it was the hardest decision I think we've ever had to make.
What are you going to miss most?
The store, the feeling, the customers, the great conversations, the Saturday author events, everything, Christmas, all of our wonderful memories here. It's going to leave a little bit of a void.
Yeah, I would agree with her. I mean, if I had to pick my two top, take everything she said, and then my two top would certainly be the people, the daily interactions with people discussing books, discussing their lives, learning the history of Taos, people that have lived here for years and years, and able to learn more about this place on a daily basis was just, it was magical to me. And then the author events, each week, even if I didn't understand or necessarily agree with every single author that came through, I felt that each time I learned something new, and just the opportunity to be around all of these different mindsets, these different thought processes, enabled me to, I think, grow as a person myself.
Our lives have been greatly enriched by this store. And I think about the desk behind you was Art's desk, the former owner, and we've had every author that's ever done an author event here sign it. And so it's just going to remain a piece of history for Taos now. And I would love to be able to do something else with it to make sure that we showcase it, to see how many amazing, influential authors have come through here and blessed us in the past 3 years. You know, it seems like such a short time, but there's a lot of names on that desk.
I know that some people have been asking about the cats.
Yeah. we would love to keep the cats ourselves and continue our relationship with them. But we already have a family dog and a family cat, and Tony and Mabel are not fond of our family animals. We've tried the introduction and it didn't go over well. And so we have found an amazing person to adopt them and continue their very plush life. Because they've definitely, if I come back as a cat, I'm coming back as a bookstore cat.
So in short, they're very well taken care of by a tremendous friend of the shop and a tremendous friend of Tony and Mabel. And later on, if she wants to, we'll let her name out. But right now, we're just going to kind of keep it quiet for her and
Sure.
let her adopt them. But they are in a they're going to be in a very wonderful place.
And they've already bonded with her just in her visits, very frequent visits.
What's next for you?
You know,
He
when
needs to eat and sleep. If he would eat and sleep for the next week, he would probably be much better. So once we get that under wraps.
You know, when we came to Taos, we didn't come here with a plan B, which to me was a way out. And we did that intentionally because we knew the ebbs and flows of Taos economics and businesses. So I didn't want to have a plan B that gave me the option of the first sign of stress or trouble to bail out. And also, we loved it here, and we still do. So in terms of what we're doing next, because I didn't create a plan B, I'm not really for
Little
sure.
soul
But the
searching.
number one thing that we do know is we love Taos. We love its people, its culture, and history. And because of that, we really want to keep our family here in Taos. That's our greatest desire.
We've
So I'm going to exhaust every opportunity with Carolyn and the family to find something here for us in whatever form or fashion it is to continue our career and life here in Taos.
Is there one thing you'd like to say to your supporters in Taos?
Yeah, absolutely. The ending of this shop as Moby Dickens is not an indication of the amazing people and support that we have received in this town. Our lives, no matter what we end up doing, are greatly enriched by our opportunity here in Taos and our opportunity with this shop. But the shop and the town are not the people. It's the people that makes up this fantastic place. And so we want to thank everyone for the support. We had a fantastic 3 years, and we do want to stay here. We want to remain here because of the wonderful people in this beautiful historic area. So
Simply thank you.
tremendous amount of thanks.
Thank you.
Tremendous thank you.
And for having faith in us and supporting us and always being willing to listen to our crazy ideas and come experience amazing events with us and letting us become part of your family as much as everybody's become part of ours.